What's up, Violence? It's episode 2 of how to gear your heroes according to their role. In this one, we will actually be going over supports, and this is going to be a two-part video because the support unit is actually widely ranged in their abilities. So, what a support is a champion who helps the party by either healing and applying buffs to allies, or by inflicting debuffs on enemies. So in this particular video, what we are actually going to be going over is healers and cleansers. The difference between that and why they didn't put it in there is cleansers do not apply a debuff when they cleanse or add a buff when they cleanse as well. So on the very first one, we are actually going to be going over Lily as our cleanser. If you do not have Lily or Violet built, I do highly recommend them. I do recommend Violet more because she has mortal wounds, which makes her more useful in arena as well as in the Nature Bull King and some other areas of the game such as Blitz. But however, I do not have a Violet built yet, so we will be using my Lily as the example. Now, as you can see, my Lily does have a fair amount of HP and defense. Also, another noticeable thing might be her resistance. Now, these are the top 3 things I really wanted on my Lily because she is a cleanser, and I wanted the HP and defense, of course, so she has a high survivability, and the resistance because as a cleanser you want her to initially be able to resist any stun, fear, silence, or any other thing that can stop her from doing her role. If you look at my gear, I do have her on double vital broken currently. The gear recommendation is Adept Precise. I do recommend the Adept set highly on her or on Violet if you have Violet, as it will allow her to get her marks off and her other debuffs off, as well as being able to cleanse and heal your team a lot faster. However, I do not recommend Precise. I really think this should be Warding. Warding does give you a higher resistance as a 2 set, and resistance is something you really want to have on your cleanser. For her shoulders, I do run her on max HP as well as max HP on her gloves, and then on her bracer I have resistance. And again, the reason I'm running resistance is because I want her being able to resist that stun, especially like if I'm running an Elder Drake team. I want her being able to resist that stun when he roars, and she's able to quickly cleanse everybody else out of that stun and continue the fight, which greatly reduces the time spent in the run. And this is also very highly effective when you're running a immunity buffer such as my Garai. He does not currently have enough skill ups on his to keep the immunity up to a like where it's up most of the time. There is still gaps, and that's where Lily actually comes well in hand. If you look at her skill here, Purifying Bloom, it launches the seed at a target ally, creating a patch of magical flowers around the ally, which grows over time. This zone periodically heals all allies inside it and removes 1 debuff from each of them. The main target receives the double amount of the healing, and the healing is based on the target's max HP. So she is a cleanser as well as a healer, but the cleanse, this is actually a little off. It removes more than 1 debuff. When it hits an ally, it's going to hit that ally and remove a buff, or it will heal them and then remove a buff, and then heal them again and again and again, and at the end it will actually remove another debuff, which I noticed recently. I don't know if this is how it's supposed to work or not. I'm not really sure. And if we go to Xenia, probably the most commonly used and sought after healer in the game, because how her heal works, we will go over it quickly and then I'll show you my stats and gear for her as well. Her heal is based on her own HP instead of the target's HP, so having a very high amount of HP on Zinnia is very helpful. Her heal sends out an expanding ring of water that heals each ally it touches and lowers their skill cooldowns. When the ring reaches maximum range, it returns healing and lowering skill cooldowns of each ally a second time. Now this is extremely useful because of the cooldown, and it acts as a burst heal, whereas Lily's heal here is more of a heal over time. For my Zinnia, I do have a high amount of HP, a small amount of defense. I would actually like her defense to be much higher, and a really high amount of accuracy. Now the accuracy actually comes into play only because it is Zinnia, and she does strip as well apply a defense break on her first skill, and that is why I have her built this way, because I want her being able to strip and defense break as often as possible. For gear, they do recommend triple vital, and again, I do not recommend this as a set for her. It is an awesome set for her in the very beginning if you just recently got her and you're not doing SW. But if you're doing SW and you can get her on Adept is great on Zinnia. For a 2 set, I also do recommend Vital because that 15% HP on top of your regular stats is still going to be quite helpful. On my Zinnia, I actually run her attack speed, HP, and HP, and like I said, it is actually because she does a lower defense, or has a chance to lower defense on every 4th attack, so having her doing her basic attack as often as possible has been quite helpful. And then she has a strip here. So that is going to be my recommendations for cleansers and healers, guys, and I hope it really helps you out in deciding on how to build yours. If you like this video, please leave a comment down below, as well as hit the like button on the video itself, and I shall see you in the next one.